Hey everyone, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live, and welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show Growing Up Hip Hop LA, Season 6, Episode 28, titled I Can't Stand the Rain. Funny title considering the episode, but let's get into it. Okay, the episode started off with the prep for TT's wedding. Stress and anxiety is at an all-time high, to the point that her and her future husband almost couldn't make it to their wedding due to missing their flights. Whew. Meanwhile, her and Sean are fussing back and forth with each other, and hours before the wedding, like the countdown before the wedding, and whew, anxiety and stress. So I'm happy that, they end up getting their flight, and they ended up making it, to where they needed it to be. And that's that. Still kind of crunch time or whatever. Okay, so next up, JoJo, Angela, and Vanessa. They're all shopping for their attires before TT's wedding. Meanwhile, JoJo is catching up with his sisters, on the status of his relationship with Denise, his marriage. And he's just letting them know it isn't going so well. He's letting them know it isn't going so well at the moment and how he's feeling. Of course, they give him his input because they want to see him. They want to see him succeed with it. They want to see him and Denise do well. Angela end up throwing in there a monkey wrench, like about her wanting to freeze her eggs due to her not being married. Like, at this point, Angela, do you have to be married? You already have one child that's out of wedlock. Do you have to be married to have this next child? I know that would be preferred, but you're not. You already have one out of wedlock. And freezing your eggs, maybe that is a good idea if you want to have more children. But, be realistic about it here. I wish her well. I wish she does, find her future husband. And I wish JoJo and Denise well with their marriage. I wish them all happiness and peace. I really do. I hope Denise and JoJo figure things out. And again, Angela find her husband happily. Next up, Eric is at the barbershop, getting the fresh lineup and the beard trim. Barber was working hard on the face. Not too hard, though. Not too hard. But, meanwhile, he was there. He got a visit from his uncle and his business partner. One of them brought up the documentary about his dad, EZE, and wondering if Eric has seen it. Apparently, there's some conspiracies in there about, his dad, EZE's death, and they never included him or his family to be a part of it. And apparently, Lazy Bone, his business, I believe it was his business partner, one of them threw in there that Lazy Bone was a part of the documentary when he vaguely talked to Eric about the documentary and didn't mention anything about him possibly being in the documentary or that he did it or whatever the case may be. And that was a little funky, weird. It kind of felt like a backstabbing moment, like betrayal-like. And I can understand completely how Eric felt like that, considering this is somebody that you felt was family. And they kind of did something underneath your nose without you knowing about it, let alone you weren't even having the opportunity to be a part of something that you are actually a part of. Your father's legacy. So come on now, Lazy Bone. What is it? Like, come on now, fix it. So next up, it's getting closer and closer to the time of TT and Sean's wedding. And they, people are coming in slowly but surely. And Tyron was at the wedding, where he popped up in on Sean while he was getting a haircut. But it was obvious that Peppa and Egypt were not there and they weren't invited. And I'm not quite sure what is the issue that's going on between Peppa, Egypt, and TT right now, but I am like, it was that deep to not invite them to your wedding when it was such a big deal, when Egypt had a wedding with Sam And TT was concerned about either being in it or being there. And they hashed it out, and now that the tables have turned, it's not sought out the same. And I'm not exactly sure why they're in the space that they're in, but I hope that they fix it at some point. I really do. It must be serious. And yeah, like Sean said, it's a bit of pettiness and stubbornness, and it got to be serious. But at least Tyron was there, and Tyron has his own rapport with Sean, so I'm happy to see that. He actually has a friendship with Sean, and it's not just like, a friend of the family or a family situation. They actually have a friendship outside of that. So good for them. Meanwhile, Denise is having a dinner with Vanessa and Eric's wife. They're just catching up, regarding TT's wedding and the invites, and discussing the personal life stuff as well. Apparently, Vanessa won't be in attendance of the wedding due to work. And Eric's wife didn't even know the wedding was happening, meaning Eric didn't get invited as well. In that defense, Vanessa did say the wedding is small and it changed a lot of times, so they had to eliminate people that probably weren't so significant, in the friendship, and, only important people, could be there. So maybe they shouldn't take offense to that. We're in weird times and all that good stuff, so hopefully nobody takes offense to that, Okay, so, next up, Denise and JoJo will be in attendance of the wedding. They talked about that. Denise and JoJo will be in attendance of the wedding, but Denise is concerned due to not being in a happy space with JoJo. They're in a weird space, and the D word, divorce, keeps popping up, keeps coming out of both of their mouths, and I'm like, no. Stop saying it, but the D word keeps popping up out of their mouths, and they're not so much of a happy space. So she feels like it's kind of an issue that they're going to a happy event and not in a happy space. They're going to view someone else's marriage, and their marriage is not so in a good space. So I understand that she's concerned about that. Honestly, it sounds like a big communication issue between her and JoJo. Big communication, and maybe a connection is lost somewhere. And I hope they fix it. Vanessa talked about it. Vanessa tapped on it. She gave Denise some good advice. She suggested that they find a way to relight their fire and to find their spark again. And I agree. Again, as I keep saying, I hope and pray that they figure it out. I wish them well. I wish them peace and happiness and love. I really do. And they should probably stop throwing the D word in there. Stop saying divorce. Stop saying divorce. If you do not want to get a divorce from this person, just stop saying it. Otherwise, you're going to bring it to fruition. And that'll be that. Just stop saying it. Stop thinking to that point. Yeah, you guys are having issues. Yeah, you guys are in a rocky spot. But acknowledge that you guys aren't going to have a divorce, and a divorce probably won't happen. So again, I wish them well. Next up, again, or at least back to Eric. Eric got the chance to bring up the EZE documentary and the fact that Lazy Bone forgot to mention the fact that he was a part of it. Even though they discussed it, Lazy Bone felt the word betrayal was strong. And he felt like the actions of that words, didn't quite fit what took place. Lazy Bone claimed he didn't know that Eric and his family weren't a part of it. I understand that part. He claimed that also that he didn't know that they didn't even know about it. But by Lazy Bone being his family, I feel like Lazy Bone should have hit up Eric quick, as soon as he got whiff of the opportunity, hey, are you a part of this? ... I just got a call about it, and they want to bring me in. And it didn't quite happen. And I feel like that's where things got lost with Lazy Bone, and Lazy Bone was wrong on his behalf. I'm sorry, that was wrong on his behalf. So, Lazy Bone, please do better next time. Please do better next time, Please do better next time, because it definitely felt like betrayal, and it kind of looked that way as well. But Eric and Lazy Bone hashed it out, and they squashed it all. Family. They've been knowing each other for years and years and years and years, so cool. Glad they did that. Next up, we get to the Palm Beach, and that's where the wedding's being held, and everybody's starting to slowly but surely, come in more and more from LA or wherever they're coming from. And the wedding has started, the tension, the anxiety is starting to build up a little bit more at the wedding. And, the biggest shock for me in the arrival of seeing people at the wedding or people coming to the wedding is the fact that Lil Twist had a girlfriend and brought her to the wedding. I was like, what? Like, Lil Twist, what? Where did this come from? That was the big shock for me again. Nobody knew about her until this episode. He never acknowledged having a girlfriend or anything of the sort. And he always presented himself as a single playboy. He addressed it slightly, though. He addressed it, a conversation with JoJo, stating that, yeah, I never told anybody I had a girlfriend because he was still pretty much playing around and didn't know for sure if he wanted to let go of the other females that he had. So that was that, That just caught me way off guard. But at least he did bring the girl on the show and introduce us to us. He introduced her to us. So hopefully there's some clarity with that, and hopefully, we'll see more of her. Now let the games begin from there. The bachelor and bachelorette party. The turn up, the party, all of it. Briana appears to be drunk as hell, enjoying herself away from LA, thankfully. And I'm glad she did. Last episode, it was stressful for her. Stressful and chaotic, and she needed to get away, even though she wasn't so happy with getting away. She needed to get away. She did. And it looks like she's going to have a little bit of fun sexually, too. We need an update on that. Briana, please update us on that. What happened with that situation? Did it go down or did it not? Next up, it seemed like Sean, pretty much was having more fun than TT, honestly. He's turning up at the bar. They are just having the life. He is the life of the party. They just having the time of their lives up there when TT's, being her little bougie self, just drinking here and there and talking casually with everybody. And they both were enjoying themselves, but it seemed like Sean was letting his hair all the way down and back. As he should. I didn't notice any dancers, by the way. Any dancers at all at either parties. Interesting. Meanwhile, the next day, it's raining cats and dogs, and TT is not feeling the wedding at all. She's not feeling the wedding at all, and she said that she felt like it wasn't time, or it wasn't her time to get married due to that and other mishaps. Sean was MIA at the rehearsal at first. Things just weren't sitting right. And let's not even talk about the red tent. TT hated the freaking red tent. It probably was smaller, much space was smaller, or more space was eliminated, and the decorations and designs weren't built for that red tent, and bad. TT was uncomfortable, and you can tell. In addition to that, she had a burn on her face from a facial. I guess it was irritated, and it blew up, and woo. Yeah, makeup could cover it, as, they were saying, but it's like, that was a lot of stuff built up where it just felt like, maybe this isn't the moment. Maybe this isn't the day. And she didn't take it too well. And honestly, I can't blame her. That day is supposed to be special, not disastrous. And I hope it works out for her. I hope it works well for her, TT, because she deserved that. Clearly, we're in a pandemic. That was at a point, I'm sure, where we were deeper in the pandemic, and as Vanessa said, it had been rescheduled time after time again due to the pandemic. So now that they can finally get married and have a ceremony, it's disastrous. Issue after issue after issue. Minor issue. And it pushed her over the edge. I hope it gets better, and I hope their wedding turns out okay. I hope it turns out, gracefully as she deserves. I really do. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Until next week, guys, it's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist. And if you're watching this right now, we are on Instagram Live. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, it is not live. It has been taken from Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, and comment on the video. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the review. Let's talk about what happened. How did I do in this review and recap? Let me know. If you're watching this on Instagram, let me know how I did. Let's talk about it. I enjoy speaking with you guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week. Peace.